Hey folks, George Zimney here. Welcome to our position overview. I give everybody about 30 seconds to kind of get settled in. I highly encourage you to pull out something to take notes on. The information I'm going to share with you is going to be vital and very important for you coming into an interview if we bring you in for that interview. So you want to make sure that you're in a focused environment. Try to clear up any distractions or things that might pull you away from this conversation, this presentation right now. And that way you'll be in tune with everything that I'm talking about. So here we go. Let's kick it off. So my name's George Zimney. I'm the president and founder of Zeal Financial Group. You've been personally invited to learn more about a position with our company because of something that I saw or one of our hiring managers saw on your resume. And so we have a high level of interest in also learning more about you. But what this is really going to be about 15 to 20 minutes of us giving you information about our resume. You know, we've reviewed yours. We have an idea of who you are and what you've done. We don't know enough to obviously offer you a position because a resume is only a resume. It's just paper and ink. But you don't really know a lot about us. So this is today is really just giving you our paper and ink, an overview of who we are as a corporation, what we do, the positions available in your market, and then we'll go from there and look at a possibility of bringing you into an office for an actual interview. So before I get into the actual position, I want to tell you about my love for life and tell you a little bit about who I am. I don't typically like to talk about myself, but I think it's important that you know the values and kind of what's important to me as the owner of the company, because those values and the way that we conduct business and the people that we value really trickles down all the way through the organization. For new representatives, people in leadership with us, as well as the back end, even with the admin and everybody that is behind the scenes with our company. So you see on the screen there, you see my wife, Stephanie. Steph just resigned as a cardiac ICU nurse at the University of Missouri Hospital. My family and I live in Columbia, Missouri, pretty much born and bred in the central Missouri area. Our two amazing and precious little girls, Raylan and Adeline. Raylan's the taller one. She is 5, and Adeline is about 2.5. And family, as you can see in those pictures, family is everything to us. I'm super involved in my church. We do a lot through the church with charity and supporting the local community. Just last year, the organization, my company, started a fundraiser called Homeless Not Helpless, where we brought a lot of people together and put together care packages for the homeless in the community. And this year, we're going to expand that operation, that charity, and reach out to a couple additional markets across the state of Missouri and look at expanding through most of the Midwest in years to come with that. So charity and community are really important to our family. My daughters are super active. So in the spring, summer, and fall, we spend a lot of time at the playground. Obviously, having a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old. Personally, my wife and I are very into health and fitness. Steph just got certified, a level 1 certification as a yoga instructor. She's also very involved in my oldest daughter, Raylan's school. She volunteers a lot of time in the library, the cafeteria, and just really making a positive impact on people. So one of the most selfless people that I know is my wife, and I'm really, really appreciative for that. So from a business standpoint or a career standpoint, just to give you a little bit of snapshot into my background personally, I did not come into this career path with any type of related knowledge or experience doing what we do now. And so this is brand new for me, as it is probably a lot of new information for you all. But what I did was I had an open mind, to learn something new, to take more control over my life, the financial and the personal growth side and the professional growth. And just saw this career path about 10 years ago as a great opportunity to accomplish a lot of our family goals. And we've been able to do that year over year and grow almost every single year that I've been with this company. So I've had a fabulous experience. I work with hundreds of people within my personal agency that have had an incredibly positive experience as well. And we're just at that phase really where growth is right around the corner for us, and we're looking for the right people to grow with. So that's a little bit about me personally, a little bit about my background, and let's dive right into the information in the actual position overview. So folks, I want to give you a little bit of clarity and transparency or what to expect through an interview with my company. First off, as I mentioned earlier, I'd encourage you to get into a focused environment where you can really soak in this information. This is, again, our resume that we're giving to you. And then take notes, because with the notes that you take, you want to bring those notes in to an interview if invited back, so that you can come prepared and really make a great first impression on that hiring manager. Or if you have the opportunity to interview with me, you can make that great impression on me. So this is just information. So let me be really clear. This is not an interview. It's just me giving you information. So you shouldn't know if this is a position for you or not. Obviously, we don't know if you're a candidate for us or not. We just need to know if we want to learn more about one another. And so that's really all this is. So it's just designed to give you more information about us so you can come into the office for an interview much more informed and prepared. And then from here, here in about 15 minutes after I go through everything, I'm going to provide our websites, a lot of information that you can review over the next 24 to 48 hours. And then you definitely want to make note to look for a call back from a local number, from a hiring manager or myself, to look at scheduling an interview with you at the local office. So let me tell you a little bit about the two companies that make everything work here. Two amazing organizations. One is my company, Zeal Financial Group, and we'll start there. The other one that I'll talk about is Family Heritage, and that's our parent company. So Zeal, on the left-hand side, we're one of 40 independently owned nationwide agencies. All we do is one thing. We represent for a really big parent, about $1 billion company called Family Heritage. So Zeal, our revenue snapshot, just in the last really 6 years, we've generated a revenue stream that projected over the next 15 to 20 years will exceed $100 million of runoff. And I'll tell you a little bit more about what that means and what that looks like. It's kind of a unique characteristic of the passive nature of our industry. We finished number 3 out of all 40 agencies nationwide in revenue 2 consecutive years in 2016 and 2017. So what really started off as just me, I was the first full-time representative with all of Family Heritage in the state of Missouri almost a decade ago. And I came into the position as a sales role, having really not a lot of sales background doing anything related to what the company does. And I started off in central Missouri, and we've expanded and grown. We now serve multiple states. We have an office in Lubbock, Texas, all the way up to Chicago. We cover most of the state of Kansas, most of the state of Missouri, western, northern, central, and southern Illinois, pretty much most of Illinois other than the east side. And we're continuing to look for the right markets and the right people to expand and grow. Almost a decade ago, we didn't have any clients in these markets, and now we have tens of thousands of policyholders that pay our company every single month, and will do so for decades to come. Folks, Zeal's mission is to offer a career vehicle that provides anyone with discipline and drive the opportunity to have the income they desire, all while maintaining a positive corporate culture fostered by continuous personal development and professional growth. And then I encourage you to write down our website, zealfinance.com. So let's change gears and talk about Family Heritage, an incredible company, just a really unique and exciting story. They were established by a man named Howard Lewis back in 1989. They started off operating just in the state of Ohio. The city of Cleveland is where their world headquarters is located. And they've grown over the last 3 decades, about 29 years, to 49 states. They're now publicly traded and owned by a company called Torchmark. So publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange. You should do some research into Torchmark, our parent company. The stock symbol is TMK, as you see on the screen. $20 billion in assets is Torchmark. So Family Heritage, their track record of growth, they've grown, I think, every single year with the exception of maybe a year, literally in the last 30. Not a lot of nationwide companies can boast that. And just 2 Julys ago, they breached $1 billion in assets. So Better Business Bureau, A+ and accredited. Customer service is everything to the company. Their financial strength with AM Best is A-rated. And Family Heritage, their mission is to help provide the financial security and peace of mind to families when the unexpected occurs. I encourage you to do a lot more research into their company as well, or our parent company. Go to familyheritagelife.com. And to help you kind of understand, I'll give you a quick example of how Zeal ties and connects with Family Heritage and kind of what that business relationship is. Think about the NFL. In the NFL, for those of you that are familiar, there are, I think there's still 32 football teams, and every team does the same thing. They represent one product. They don't play with hockey pucks or baseballs or bats. They represent the football league, and they all throw the same size football, unless you're Tom Brady. They play on the same size field. There's all the restrictions, and so the NFL is the product, right? Each football team has the autonomy and the freedom to create their own brands and their own culture within. Now, every football player plays for one of the independent franchises or one of the teams. It's a similar relationship with Family Heritage. Family Heritage is the product. They are the parent company. There are 40 independently owned franchises or agencies. Zeal Financial Group is one of those. And every representative within Family Heritage nationwide works within the culture or one of the companies of the independently owned agencies. And so hopefully that gives you an idea of what that looks like. The really unique thing about Family Heritage is, and one of the biggest things that attracted me almost a decade ago, was they provide an ownership opportunity for those that want to own something and really have the autonomy and the freedom to create a brand and a company, and to do so at their pace. They give you the ownership opportunity, and it took me 3 years to go from sales representative to agency owner with the company, and now I own and operate my own company that has scaled year over year. So that's a very unique opportunity that they offer. Whereas when I was 27 and getting started, I didn't have the idea or the capital to start my own business. So I needed to get into something that was stable, that had proven systems, that was financially backed, and I found a good fit with Family Heritage. So that's a little insight into the two companies. So let me tell you a little bit about our growth. So our vision for growth, we're extremely strong right now, and we're poised for much more accelerated and bigger growth than even the first almost decade we've been in business. And so our vision is to be a market leader by 2025 nationwide with over 300 representatives and 20 offices. We want to have over 100,000 clients protected. By 2025, we'll be doing over 20 million in annual revenue. And it's my vision to help 10 or more individuals that are growing with me to own their own agency or their own franchise and really have the freedom that comes with that ownership. And I save the best for last, and this is super important to us. But the more we generate in revenue and the more our representatives make, the more we continue to give back to people that need the money more than we do. And so our vision in 2025 is to be exceeding $100,000 per year in charitable contribution or giving back to places like St. Jude and Wigs for Kids, leukemia foundations, Homeless Not Helpless. Again, just truly giving back to people that need the money more than we do. So the position that we have open right now in your market is called a local territory manager. So you definitely want to jot that down. And here's what that looks like. So I'm going to go through kind of just a snapshot of what the position looks like, the perks of the position, the opportunities of the position, but also what we're looking for, the characteristics of the individual, of you to fill that position. So number one, the kind of the definition of the position is to develop and grow the local territory or your local market. We have such a wide array of opportunities in all the markets that we cover. And by no means are we saturated. We are about 5% saturated, so there's 95% of the market that's still wide open and not a lot of competitions out there. So we're looking for somebody that has a vision for rapid expansion, and that's through recruiting, helping us with the onboarding and hiring, the training, as well as sales and the sales process within that local market. And so we're looking for people to manage a territory and lead people, On average, it's 2 to 3 days per week in the office, and we have an amazing culture within all of our offices and a great infrastructure to support that growth. And that's appointment setting, and that comes from company-sponsored leads, both in the business-to-business sector as well as the individual and family side. And there's no cost for the leads to the representative. We're looking for somebody to support team training in the office and actually be implemental in developing the people, the sales reps within that office, as well as in the field. Somebody to help out with office interviews and onboarding of new representatives. And most important is somebody that can lead by example in the field of sales through preset appointments. And so there is selling involved in this. And regardless if you have a sales background or not, it doesn't really matter to us as long as you're teachable and you're reliable as a leader to show and train others how to sell the products that we market. So some of the perks, the biggest one is advance pay, and this is the foundation of our pay structure. It's for most of you, it's very different from what you've experienced or the way you're currently being paid. But to keep it simple for today and for time's sake, it's in a very similar fashion to a draw, which allows one to cash flow quickly and make a comfortable career transition. So most of the people we work with need to replace a salary or an hourly income as a professional, and they need to do so quickly so they don't have to dip into savings or so they're not affected in their lifestyle. And our whole pay structure is designed to give you the opportunity to do that literally in your first couple of weeks. So that's pretty typical that somebody's making that transition, and that's why we have the advance pay. Overrides, bonuses. We're very heavy on bonuses. Representatives with our company have the opportunity to earn upwards of $60,000 to $70,000 a year just on the bonus side. Stock and Torchmark. And so that's an incredible retirement opportunity. And then incentive travel, and the biggest one, the most unique one to our industry with our company is called residual income for life through lifetime vesting and renewals. And what that means in a nutshell is everything you did in the past continues to pay you forward even after you leave the company. So that's critical to make note of. Even after you leave the company, we pay our representatives that are vested with us for what they did in the past, okay? So the next bullet point is top team leaders can exceed over $175,000 in their first year in earnings. So obviously a very financially rewarding career for those that are above average. And then it's important to note that you have the ability to promote at your pace. So this is not a career where you promote when somebody likes you or you demote when somebody doesn't like you. It has nothing to do with the current leadership and management in your market or that office. It has everything to do with what you actually do, okay, which you're in control of. So there's no limitations to the promotion and advancement schedule with our company other than those that you set on yourself. So characteristics we look for. I'm looking for somebody who's a great communicator, somebody who has a consistent positive attitude. I'm looking for somebody who's dependable. Basically, they follow through on what they say they're going to do, and they're committed. Somebody who has a long-term vision for growth. You know, really what that means to me is I'm looking for somebody who is hungry, somebody who has that kind of that fire stirring in their gut to make more, do more, impact more than what they're currently doing. If you're feeling limited in your current job or career, you know, you should have that burning desire to and that open mind to do more and get more. And that's a very important characteristic. And it's not important to us that you have prior experience in our field. So it's not absolutely necessary, you know, as long as, again, you're teachable and you're coachable and we can train you. So let's talk now about the products we market. I think this is extremely important to have an understanding of, because regardless if you loved our culture and our career and the position, if you don't believe passionately in the products we market, it's just going to be a short-term venture for you, and we're looking for a long-term fit with people. So what we do, folks, is very unique. It's not traditional insurance at all. So it's called supplemental health benefits. You want to make note that our flagship product is our cancer product. So basically, to keep it simple, what we do, or what Family Heritage does, what we market and sell, is a product that pays money directly to the client. It's in the form of cash. And that's when they're going through a major illness like cancer or heart or stroke or accidents. So let me pause for a second and talk to you about why we focus so much on cancer. Think about this. Everybody knows somebody who's been affected by cancer, number one. Number two, cancer is the most financially devastating illness that families in the U.S. go through. It's the number one cause of bankruptcy in the U.S. due to illness right now. And did you know that 1 out of every 2 men and 1 out of every 3 women in the U.S., according to the American Cancer Society, will go through cancer at some point in their life? 50% of men, 33% of women will be diagnosed and treated for cancer at some point in their life. And to me, that's absolutely crazy. And then with children, which scares the heck out of me as a parent with 2 young children, cancer is the second leading cause of death in kids right now in the U.S. And the craziest thing about this whole conversation of cancer, I'm sure you would agree, is that you can't predict it. You don't know if it's going to happen to the healthy person or the unhealthy person, the old, the young. It's so unpredictable. The other thing that's unpredictable is how long somebody will go through it and go through treatments. There is good news to this whole conversation about cancer. More people survive than they ever have before because of early detection and modern medicine. So think about somebody close to you that's gone through cancer, and you can probably relate to a lot of the things I'm talking about here. So our benefits, what we do is we pay money to the client when they're going through cancer, heart, stroke, or accidents. And they do whatever they want with the money. It's designed to help replace that lost income and help pay their bills at home so that they can focus on healing and getting well for the months or years that they're going through that illness unexpectedly. And they don't have to worry as much about the financial situation that still has to be met by some form of money. And so we have a very unique but needed benefit. It has nothing to do with health insurance. Health insurance pays the hospitals, we pay the family. It has nothing to do with life insurance. There's no limit to how much we can pay our clients. So for almost 30 years, we've been paying families for every treatment, every day in the hospital, every day of radiation and chemo. There's a dollar amount we pay that family direct deposit to their checking account. And we're proud to say we've never raised a rate on a client. We have I think it's about up to now 450,000 clients nationwide in 49 states, and we've never raised a rate. We've also never dropped a client due to age or due to how much we paid them, which we call claims. So we serve our products and our policies to both businesses, small businesses, and larger businesses, either on an individual basis or a payroll basis. So we serve employees, but we also serve individuals and families on a referral and a lead basis. And so the difference maker, what makes our products different from Aflac and Colonial and some of the other bigger, well-known companies in the market, is that we offer a built-in return of premium benefit. Let me show you what that looks like, because this is important. So return of premium, first off, it's built in, so there's no added cost to the client. And basically what it is, think about the words, return of premium. So what it is, it's an incentive for the client to own our policy for a very long period of time. And so if they do that, scenario number 1 there says if the client stays healthy, meaning they don't use the policy, we don't pay them any money, they don't go through cancer, then what we do is we give them their money back. They get the premium they paid in back. So as an insurance company, we're all the same, from State Farm to Aflac to Family Heritage. And the way we make money is by investing premiums. There's a whole variety of different things that companies invest premiums in, but there's a return or interest that companies make from those premiums invested. So the reason why we can give the premium back is because the client owns the policy for a much longer period of time, because that incentive is built in. So we get to invest their premiums for much longer, and we don't spend whatever it is, $150 million a year on a talking duck like Aflac does. So we pump the money into the clients, the customer service, to our reps, and just spend our money in different ways. So that's how we can afford to and have this amazing built-in return of premium. So the second scenario is the client uses the policy, but we pay them less. So they have something minor that happens over the course of that period of time for the return of premium. We pay them less than what they paid in. So they paid in a certain amount of premium. We paid them a claim, but we still give them whatever's left over back. So they break even. But scenario number 3 is more the insurance side of it, the way that we traditionally understand it. And that's where the client uses the policy. And we have policyholders that we've literally paid hundreds of thousands of dollars of cash over years of going through cancer. And those clients will never pay in that amount of money in premiums in their lifetime or a couple lifetimes. So there's no limit to how much we could pay a client. So if a client obviously uses the policy in a big way and we pay them a lot of money, on that return of premium date, they don't get extra money back. But the cool thing is their policy continues. So our clients, when we're showing this product to our prospects, either at their business or their home, they look at this as a win-win. On one side, they get amazing protection at a very low cost. Average premium is about $100 a month for an entire family, and rates never change. So you're looking at an individual cell phone bill, or taking a family of 6 to a Mexican restaurant or to McDonald's, really is a couple of times a month, to have a backup plan if that family went through cancer or heart disease or an accident. And so the other side of the win is they get that protection, the peace of mind knowing if they went through something unexpected like cancer, that they've got something in place to help pay the bills back at home as they're going through that illness. Okay, so I'll just give you an idea of what our policyholders say about us. These come from full-page thank you letters that we've received from some of our clients, some regionally and some nationally. But check this out. We get about 50 to 150 personally handwritten or typed thank you notes from clients nationwide every month. We literally have thousands of these things that we share with people every single day, and our clients give us permission to share these thank you letters. So this one in the upper left-hand corner, just to kind of tie down, and really give you a full, well-round perspective of how these programs and what our service does for people. This one from Robert in Texas, he said, "My son Joey was diagnosed with cancer at the young age of 15. We traveled to Houston numerous times and even lived there for weeks while Joey was being treated. All transportation and hotel expenses were reimbursed to us, and we received over $70,000. And we thank God we have family heritage." Patricia in Kansas said, "We had week-long trips to Kansas City for treatments. This policy helped us focus on our daughter getting better rather than worrying about how to pay the bills. It was something we hoped we would never need, but we're so thankful it was there for us when we did." And then John here in Missouri said, "The one thing that sold us more than anything else was the fact that if we did not use the policy, we'd get our entire premium back. And by the way, that happens after 25 years. The company and their representatives have bent over backwards to help us, going far and above our wildest dreams. We were very appreciative of our agent's willingness to help fill out our claim, the ease of following the claim, and the quick monetary return after submitting the claims." So really think about that. I was blown away when I saw some of these thank you letters in person when I went through an interview. And just knowing that we're every single day, I get to come home and knowing that I helped somebody. I did something positive for somebody's life. Okay, so that's our resume. I just wanted to give you a little bit of information about who we are and what we do and some of the positions we have available. So, folks, the next step, now that you know a little bit more about us, is consideration for an interview. And obviously, we want to know if you're interested in an interview after knowing more about us, and if you're open-minded to learning even more to see if it'd be a position that would be a positive thing for your life. But obviously, we want to consider you for an interview to learn more about who the human is and what the heartbeat is, behind the paper resume. So the next step is just follow along with me from top to bottom, if you would. I'm going to have you thoroughly review a few websites. So jot these down. The first one is zealfinance.com. So zealfinance.com. familyheritagelife.com. And then to get more of a social perspective, you can go to facebook.com/Zeal Financial Group. I'll give you a few seconds to jot those down. So then the next step is to look for a call back from a local hiring manager to schedule an office interview. And that's within the next 24 to 48 hours. And I'll give you a little tip, little advice. Some of you will like this, others won't care. You already know this, but here's the tip. Number one, come in with an open mind and a great attitude. That's really important to us. We're not going to be impressed if you come in dragging your feet or you're late. And so what we look for is individuals who want to help people, individuals that want to progress in their life and do so with integrity. And obviously, I cannot promise you a position with my agency because we don't really know you yet. But I can promise that from our perspective, myself, my staff, my hiring managers, we will be open-minded to learning more about you. So it's not as important what you've done to us, not done to us, but done in the past. So it's not as important to us of what you've done in the past. It's more important to us what you're willing to do in the future and where your life is going and the value that you would bring. So then I pose 3 final questions to you. Number 1, do you want to make a positive impact? Number 2, do you want to take control of your financial future? And really, are you serious about that? And number 3, do you want to be a part of a positive culture where you will be recognized? So folks, that's what I have for you for today. There's our resume. That's my position overview to you. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you took something away from it. And now you're, I assume, much more prepared coming into an interview if invited back. So look for a call back from one of our hiring managers or myself personally in the next 24 to 48 hours, potentially sooner. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and thank you for your time.